What is up, Chronics? In this video, I'm going to be giving a guide for this week's normal time trial, RC Bandito time trial, and the premium race for this week, totaling over $300,000. Remember, the time trials can only be completed once a week for the full $100,000 payout. The premium race, however, can be completed in a limited amount of times with a 48-minute cooldown between each win. Also keep in mind that rocket-powered / flying vehicles cannot be used in time trials. So, starting off with the time trial this week, which is at Burro Heights, I highly recommend either the Shotaro, Hakachu Drag, Baddie 801, or the new Shinobi for this time trial. However, this time trial does give a good bit of extra time, so there is a lot of other vehicles and bikes you can complete it with as well. Also to mention, as I'm sure many of you know, keep in mind that the Shotaro and the Hakachu Drag are still faster than the brand new $2.5 million Shinobi, and the $15,000 Baddie 801 still has very similar performance to it as well, so you really don't need to spend a crazy amount of money to have a top performing motorcycle. But anyways, in terms of route, this one is pretty easy with only a couple shortcuts throughout. The hardest part of this time trial is avoiding the traffic. It personally took me about 4 attempts due to cars randomly switching lanes into me or accelerating through intersections as I'm driving through, so be very cautious with the traffic in this time trial. Now usually for these time trials, I challenge myself by picking either the prize ride or the casino podium car of the corresponding event week, and for this week we have the RT3000 as the prize ride and the Jugular on the casino podium. Now I think the RT3000 might be a bit too slow for this time trial, however the Jugular definitely has a chance of beating it. But I saw in the comments from the last time trial video that a lot of you guys wanted to see me using the drip feed vehicles for these time trials, so that's what we're going to be doing in this video. So for this time trial, I'll be using my fully upgraded Shinobi. Moving on to this week's RC Bandito time trial, which is Construction Site 2. As always, you need to own an RC Bandito in order to participate in these. This one is pretty tricky if you've never done it before due to the tight areas and the ramps to get to different floors of the building, but if you take it nice and slow, you should be able to complete it pretty easily. In my specific run for this week's RC time trial, I purposely went for more consistency rather than speed, and I completed it on my first try. And lastly, we have this week's premium race, which is Congestion Charge. This one is restricted to the Supercars class. I highly recommend either the Vest 8, Emirates, or Krieger for this race. Now this race is mainly top speed biased with some corners towards the end, so ultimately the best one for this race is the Vest 8. However, if you're in an Emirates or Krieger, you can still keep up with the Vest 8s via slipstream, but you need to make sure you're getting as much of that as possible. Now, also the biggest mistake players make in this race is going too fast and getting too much slipstream right before the first corner. And if you hit the outside of the wall on that first corner, in most cases your car will go right over the wall and you pretty much lost the race at that point. So definitely be careful with that. And that's it, guys. A normal time trial is pretty tricky because of the traffic, but if you use a quick car or bike, you should be able to complete it pretty easily. The RC time trial is pretty tricky as well, but just take it slow and you should be fine. And this week's premium race is pretty easy if you use the Vest 8 and are careful with that first corner of the race. Again, remember guys, you can earn over $300,000 between the three of this week, and setting yourself to go to beat them is always a lot of fun in my personal opinion. Let me know which one you find most difficult and what vehicles you use down below in the comments. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.